What's up, gearheads? This is your favorite twink, Nick Fuentes. Make sure you go to blindmike.net for all Blind Mike Project. Why are you laughing? And who are these socials? And now, a man who listens to you porn as a podcast. Blind Mike, Curie.
From a monetization standpoint, I wonder if it's a smart idea to have Nick Fuentes as the announcer. We let everyone audition here. It's okay.
If
I'm
they
just saying.
They just pick up on it and go, I don't think
I wonder
so.
if YouTube says, yeah, it's so realistic. I mean, that sounds just like him. It is him, right? As far as I know. So,
as far as we're concerned,
I don't think he's allowed on this platform. But Hackride killing it, of course, doing a terrific job. Craig decided to use his background today, I see.
I did. You can see it.
You snubbed him on Why You Laughing. You decided
I didn't know that was in there.
There's a war brewing between Craig and Hackride that I've noticed. And I can tell you easily who's going to win because Craig will just lie down. Craig doesn't care if he wins at this point.
I didn't know there was a war, but I'm ready to go, I guess.
Hackride cares so much about this. He cares more about the show than I do, frankly. And Craig has sort of given up on us. We're Jerry first and then this program.
I couldn't be more loyal to this program.
You know what? I'm projecting. That's been done to me. I apologize, Craig. That's been done to me, and I'm doing it to you now. Shit runs downhill.
To my knowledge, we're recording tomorrow. We're just all the time. I'm always here, baby.
No, but Hackride wants to be part of the show on a behind-the-scenes basis. Are you aware of this?
Yes, he's also given me other ideas, which I think are good, but I don't know how he'd pull some of them off.
I'm up for any ideas, but yeah, he wants to be. My concern is Hackride wants to be basically he can control drops and things like that because Craig's always monitoring the videos and the chat and things like that. So having Hackride here, he would be able to play drops and maybe Google things while we're talking about them, whatever. My concern with that. This is really just a message to Hackride. I know you people don't care, but my concern with it is he's a little self-indulgent at times. I don't know if you've noticed that about him at all.
Well, we'll check in about an hour and a half when we play a video.
We'll be hearing Ray DeVito drops as I talk about fucking Joe Rogan. What is this? That's my one concern about Hackride, but I think he deserves a shot at it at least. No,
absolutely. So
we'll see.
Fantastic and quick turnaround on this kid.
Old
guy, gentleman.
That's the weird thing. I always picture him as like a young go-getter, an up-and-comer, and then he's like 12 years older than me.
I know. A lot of experience.
That's really been bugging me, by the way. I see a lot of... Hey, keep commenting, folks. Love the comments. Love that the YouTube channel is growing and everything. But every so often, when someone that doesn't know the show at all happens upon a subject that they don't agree with us on, the go-to is always, oh, I'm going to listen to these boomers talk about this subject.
Are we boomers now?
I'm 31, for Christ's sake.
I'm 33 or 4. I don't even remember. One of those.
Relatively young man. Which is really tough because it means they're just looking at me and being like, well, that's an old guy, I guess. They're just using their eyes. There's no...
It's the voice. He sounds distinguished.
I do talk like an old man, I suppose. But yeah, we're live, super chat away, folks. I know it's an old story, but I want to... speaking of super chats, I know Carl generally doesn't like to read them, but now that the episode's over, you can go back and listen to WATS. The story at the end, did you happen to watch it last night?
No, I'm watching it later today because I got no one in the house.
I'm obsessed with it. I'm still thinking about it. We played a clip. It's a financial channel where they're like, I've said it comes up in my YouTube feed all the time. And it's literally things as boring as like the power of compound interest. That's the title of a usual video.
Mm-hmm.
Why to open a 401k and shit like that. Very boring financial, basic beginner investor type jargon. Until the other day it pops up in my feed. How to be frugal like the Jews. I swear to you, it's a legitimate channel. It's got like 30,000 followers.
And
we play clips and they're like, these people know how to haggle.
Is it good advice at least?
Well, it doesn't need to be it's all basic advice, which is weird that they're like, like who.
No, when you feel something bad's coming, turn the rain on.
hang on to your last penny for dear life. Yeah, so I recommend you guys go, if you didn't make it to the end of last night's WATS, go check it out because I'm fixated on it. But anyways, speaking of old stories, I wanted to talk a little bit about Rogan just because I'm fascinated by the subject. This was we got really into this like a year and a half ago when it was a big story.
Mm-hmm.
All the Dr. Peter McCullough and Robert Malone stuff. And I thought we'd kind of just moved on. Spotify, which was actually a good move in the war on whatever that is, cancel culture or whatever you want to call it.
We're on those people.
Yeah, whatever that is. Spotify actually did the right move where they go, hey, we'll put this big blue label that says this could be misinformation. And everyone was like, fine. Until this RFK, is it Peter Hotez? Is that his name?
I think it's Hotez.
Hotez?
Possibly. Don't know.
Professor Peter Hotez pipes up and says that, RFK is bullshit, basically. And Rogan says, hey, $100,000, come on the show. And the guy's, I wouldn't justify this. Well, Joe Rogan has a major platform. Like, you should go on there if you want to spread knowledge. And if you're right, here's the thing is like, why would Peter Hotez lower himself to Joe Rogan? Well, he's not. He's lowering himself to the level of a presidential candidate who's from, America's version of a royal family, essentially.
I like how it ended up getting to $1.5 million to this guy's favorite charity, and he goes, talk to me when it hits 50.
Well, that's my issue with this fucking guy is he clearly loves he's still tweeting about it.
Constantly.
He's like, oh, this is what happens when you get involved with Joe Rogan. It's like, yeah, you seem to really hate it.
He's just, he runs to MSNBC's as a safe space. Like
Portnoy body bagged me many years ago when he screamed at me about Tommy Smokes or whatever it was. I didn't care for it. You know how I know how you know that is I'm not on Twitter every day like, hey, Dave, you know who really sucks? Move on with your life, Peter. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it was up till last night. He's just retweeting all these stories. He's like, look at this. Washington Post says, why would I bother doing that? Yeah. Retweet.
Yeah, that's what you want for I saw a tweet from him like, who you want to follow? Well, you don't want to follow like Rogan or any of this for news. You know who you want to follow? The New York Times, the Washington Post. It's like, yeah, no, they're not biased. It's just Joe Rogan.
See, the problem is too, it's like if he goes on, say someone's like, the vaccine does not work, it's stupid. He might make points that make them go, okay, maybe I'm wrong, and vice versa.
Right. And here's the thing is everyone says like Joe Rogan. Your issue, whether you realize it or not, Peter and everyone else mad at Joe Rogan, is with the guests that Joe Rogan has on. Right. Like RFK, whether you are going to vote for him or not, whether you agree with him or not, whatever, he's from a very tapped-in political family and is running for president of the United States. And won't win, but he's like a legitimate candidate as far as name recognition and everything. So why should Joe Rogan not allow him on the podcast? Like, what are you suggesting? Is Joe Rogan supposed to say no? You're not allowed to have a voice, sir?
Yeah, this guy's just mentally tapped out. He was like saying, if you wear a mask, you still need to stay 18 feet away from people. And he wanted anyone that didn't get the vaccine to do jail time. So that's kind of who we're dealing with.
Yeah, so it's like because everyone freaked out last year, like, oh, Joe Rogan says the vaccines aren't real. We're probably off YouTube already, right? I forgot about that.
We didn't say it was fake.
Joe Rogan says the vaccines aren't real. And I was like, why are you listening to Joe Rogan's part of this conversation? I was very intrigued, whether I don't know enough about it to dispute any of it or even agree with any of it. But I was captivated when Robert Malone and Peter McCullough were on the show because I thought they were interesting guys that brought a very tapped-in perspective to the table. So why are you listening to Joe Rogan's opinion at all in these conversations? You should be listening to the people he's interviewing. They're the interesting characters. And so today I wanted to prove that to everyone with a video that I saw on, I think it was Rogan's Reddit or something. He was talking to Ari Shaffir. These are when people are like, Joe Rogan thinks he's news. It's like, well, hey, he might think that, but it doesn't matter because of videos like this.
I don't know who
He's
gave
more
us that
wasteful
weight.
than a
Who gave-
stoner.
Third
like,
tallest average in the world at the time was 5'7" during the Civil War for American man.
third tallest average?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means like the first average is like 6 feet tallest, like the tallest average tallest person. Third tallest was 5'7".
I don't understand what you mean.
The average, like if there's an average, what's the average? The tallest average height.
He's so dug in.
He understands. I think he's doing like the mode, median, and range.
Well, this is Rogan though. This is what I'm trying to give you an example of. This is what Rogan does on every subject. Yeah, he thinks he's right about everything. That's kind of human nature.
But he
And honestly, that's how you do a good podcast. Like, it's why I wasn't good on podcasts for a long time, and maybe still am not, because I have the confidence of I can't think of an example. That's how little confidence I have.
the confidence
I
of
started an analogy and didn't have one.
you have the confidence of Peter Hotez going on to debate Robert F. Kennedy.
No, but like my thing, like I won't argue points like that. I'll just fold and assume the person I'm talking to is right because I don't trust, unless I absolutely trust myself. Rogan will dig his heels in and be like, Ari, don't you see, you fucking moron? It's the third tallest average.
That's
It
the
doesn't
thing.
make any sense.
That's the thing, though. He's digging his heels in because he trusts himself.
This goes on for a long time.
It is 6'5". Yeah, average.
Average height for
the
all
average,
of the
yeah,
year.
average for the people that are alive.
So what year would that be?
1866 Civil War time period.
The average was 5'7"
That was the third highest height average.
that we've ever had.
No, during that time,
What do you mean that was the third
the
height?
people that lived during that
Even
time,
Ari's
Ari-
baffled.
1866.
Ari's just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Ari's like, I know you're wrong about this.
I like how
Peter, you can't argue with this guy. You're afraid of this man? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
but he wouldn't even be talking. It would just literally be RFK and him just saying, this is why I think this. No, this is why I think this.
That's the thing. But I'm saying if your issue is with Joe Rogan, you're telling me you're a professor, you can't fucking school this guy?
You
That's
often-
insane.
He often backs up all this shit too by going, I'm a fight commentator and a comedian
And a pothead.
and a pothead. They're baked as shit in this video. They're just passing a joint back and forth.
He's often been on weed, mushrooms, or alcohol on air.
Speaking of doctors, we got a super chat from Jeremy Wright. It says, Mike to eat some carrots. It's good for eye health.
I'm a little past that point. I do like a baby carrot, but I don't know how much good it's doing.
Shall we continue with this video?
Yes.
It's the third highest average.
Average. So if you had first highest average,
What's
like
that mean? First highest average.
well, the average height of people. What is the highest?
Like, for
So,
instance,
like,
England could have
but-
been higher than
No,
us
no.
and
There's,
been
you could have
number one.
percentages. Like you have 30.
He interrupts. Jamie is correct, and he no. Actually, Jamie, I'm going to interrupt you with something that's false, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, Jamie just lined himself up for some belt lashings after the show.
You
Top
have
30th
90
percentile.
people. Say if you only have 90 people, right?
Yeah, it's
You
just
say,
the
well,
average.
30 of them are 6'1" and above. 30 of them are 6'1" to 5'10". 30 of them are
way.
5'7" to
No way.
5'10".
That's not what that means. The number highest. If you choosing a 30, 30, 30,
Height.
it's just the
But
average.
No.
The average height.
Right, but the number of humans, the overall number of humans. See what I'm saying? And what I said, that's why I broke it down to 90, right? So you have 3 groups if you have 90 people.
If it was a
Is he trying to say like North America, Mexico, and like England? Maybe then that's the third highest.
That's what it is. I believe the number is they're the third highest average as far as countries go. So, fucking England, yeah, like you said, England and wherever, Mexico were higher than them at that time. So they're the third highest country. Joe is saying it's the third highest average number, which just as a sentence doesn't make sense.
That's not a thing.
third highest average, like we're the third tallest in the world.
But they're even. Do you see? Understand what I'm saying? They're
No.
even.
That's what it is.
All right,
What?
listen, hold on, stop. I got
The
this.
third
I got this.
percentile?
Listen, they're
Yeah.
even. If we have 90 people,
It's
you know what
third,
I
third,
said?
and third. Yeah.
30 and 30 and 30.
What I said,
right?
T?
If that's what we have, okay, then that's obviously
The third
they're
highest
almost,
average.
They're almost even in the numbers that are represented by each individual category of height. So it's 5, 5'10" to 6'2" is one group that's 30 people.
Why those 30?
Because
Why
you
30?
I'm just saying this so you can understand what the third highest percentage means. It's based on the number of overall people. So if there's 200 million, so
And there's only 3 percentage groups? Are there 5 or 10?
Instead of 90 people,
Yeah.
let's say there's 90 million people.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 30 million of them are 5'10"
Well,
to
what's the
6'1".
fifth highest percentage?
Well, we'd have to find that out.
But there's
The
no
third highest.
Well, now here's what Ari's trying to say: is who's deciding it's 3 or 5 or 20? You know what I mean? Because you could say that if the tallest person is 6'1", the third highest average is 5'7". Well, what does that make people that are 6 feet and a half an inch?
I highly enjoy just how hard he's trying to keep his eyes open because he's so high.
This is the man you're afraid of, people. Debate this guy. Squash him if you think you're right. I don't get it.
Jack Dorsey, to his credit, went on.
Yes, Jack Dorsey did go on, and it caused him to leave the company.
Caused him to make so much fucking money selling it.
He's like, all right, I'm out of here.
And to his credit, he also said that he didn't realize some of that shit was going on. So it does work out.
But yeah, I mean, and I also understand, I'm sure the comments are saying, like, it's not Rogan he would be debating, which I know, but it's Rogan they use as the lightning rod for, like, you expect me to dignify this man with a response? Well, he has, let's say, average 11 million viewers is the number I always hear, or listeners, whatever. That's a lot of people that you could get your point across to and make Rogan look fucking silly. And then the other weird argument I always hear is like, well, you wouldn't change anyone's mind with a debate. Well, what are you doing on Twitter?
Right.
You know what I mean? What the fuck are you doing, Peter Ortiz, weighing in on this this if
Should
you're
I
not
check-
going to change anyone's mind?
Should I go to his Twitter and see how many tweets I have to go back till he?
Well, yeah. What's the latest tweet?
Peter Hotez.
A guy who doesn't like this at all. He doesn't like the attention.
Yeah,
He's being bullied by Joe Rogan, isn't he? Or Joe Rogan fans?
he's
Isn't
claiming.
that what he said? Yeah.
Yeah. So he retweeted something from 15 minutes ago.
He's somewhat active. Okay.
Deeply troubled by the online attacks against Dr. Peter Hotez, standing in solidarity with Peter and all our public health medical professionals.
Oh, deeply troubled. So much so I want to talk to you all about it.
Yep. Then 36 minutes ago, he tweeted out an article that says you can't win a debate when you debate against someone who disregards. I cut off the COVID vaccine. So
This is like if I was like looking for a fight. Maybe I've been training a little jujitsu, and
yeah,
I'm looking for a fight. And I go outside the liquor store where the homeless guys hang out near my house, and I go, boy, hope no one tries to take this wallet full of cash I just took out. Really hope no one tries anything funny here. Hmm?
yeah.
Like,
No,
Hotiz is begging for response here. He just loves the attention he's getting.
and I had to go back 15 minutes. Yeah. So whatever. Continue the video.
You get yeah. Let's keep going because I want you to see the shift when Jamie lays out what it actually means and the victory lap that Rogan takes for this.
Which was 5'7", which means that out of these millions of people that were alive back
So
then,
the top third was
evenly
average this,
grouped
the
into
second third average this, and the third average that. That's such a confusing stat. No fucking way.
You might be confused on the word third. It's not a third. It's third place.
Third place for average male in America.
currently
that's why
37th.
You're not getting it.
What?
I
We're
explained
now
it
we're
earlier.
37th as of today. Like
Well,
we
who's
moved down on the
37th?
list. United Americans, United States.
Right. But you're talking about the average height. Was that for America in 1866?
American soldiers were tall by the standards at the time for amongst
Third
the world.
highest country.
But people were so tiny back then that third highest height, the third highest category was 5'7".
No, we were just the ranked third country. We were the of all the
That's not what you
average
said,
heights.
though, right?
I'm confused on why you guys are not on the same page here. I think you're both saying the same thing.
No,
I don't think
I'm
we
saying
are.
we
No,
ranked
no,
third.
They weren't even close to saying the same thing. Jamie just doesn't want to disagree with his boss.
Jamie was just had a house purchase for him, and he doesn't want to lose it.
Is that not what you were saying, boss? Sorry about that.
That's very funny.
Yeah, so that's the boogeyman for all these. Which, by the way, why is that still a debate? Why is the vaccine still even like? Are people still getting boosters? No, right?
Clearly, it doesn't work. Right?
We didn't need it. I don't even care for where I got it, and I'm fine. Like I'm not dying yet. We'll see.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it because I'm a real man.
I just wanted to get on a flight uninterrupted. All right. I was worried they were going to do something.
I didn't need them sticking something 6 inches long in my ear.
But like, why is it still like we're past it, right? No one's getting boosters or anything.
No, the last person.
Let's all move on with our lives.
My parents got the booster in November. Another one. I don't even know what number it was, and they got COVID 5 days later. I said, "You done yet?"
Craig's like, "Good riddance." Craig's digging a grave.
Yeah, getting a nice condo on the ocean now.
So yeah, I just wanted to shed a little light on that subject. I don't have too much on it, but I thought it was crazy when it popped up. Oh, the other thing I enjoyed was did you see the response to me on Twitter when I tweeted about something else when all that was going on?
No.
Just randomly Saturday night, I'd gotten home. We went out to dinner. I'd gotten home. I was kind of bored sitting on the couch. And I said, I'll tweet out the link. I said, hey, subscribe to the YouTube. Let's grow this sucker. And if you're watching now, maybe hit that subscribe button, huh? Tap the notification bell so you know when we're going live.
Pretty please.
So I tweeted out a link to the YouTube channel. And someone replied, pretty tough look, Mike, for you to think you're going to get any attention when the whole world is focused on Joe Rogan versus Peter Hotez.
I did see that. Okay, I did see that.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, click that button and you'll hear us talk about it this week.
I was in disbelief. I was like, what?
Wow, that's a stretch.
It seemed odd that I was like, hey guys, listen, I don't mean to kill the Joe Rogan subject, but I've got bigger news. I have a YouTube channel. I know. It's going to be trending now. I'm going to get all this attention.
If you're looking for similarities, me and Joe Rogan do the same thing for a living.
We're colleagues.
Yeah.
That's true.
Super sticker sent by Thomas Dixon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah. If you want to send that, fire away in the chat. And let me just also let you know that blindmike.net is where you go for all things Blind Mike Project.
This again.
I know. I apologize. You got to keep the lights on, baby. If you're looking for WAT, I mentioned that episode of Who Are These Socials. All the links are there for, Apple, Spotify, and all that. Same with Why You Laughing, if you want to subscribe. By the way, I should have mentioned we just pre-record these episodes, so I didn't know this was going to be the case when we recorded the Pat Cooper episode. But the episode that went on Patreon yesterday is the firing of Anthony Cumia.
Great episode.
We broke that whole situation down. That episode won't be up for free until after the 4th of July. So Thursday the 6th or whatever that is. So if you want that early, if it's worth it to you, subscribe to the Patreon, get it a couple weeks early. And we're doing a bonus episode, Anthony Cumia versus Joe DeRosa from that whole time period. So, get stuff like that on the Patreon. Bonus Why You Laughings. Hopefully that's worth it to you. Carl, before we started the show, Carl yesterday goes, you really got to get rid of Quincy. And I was like, what? In my mind, I was like, I don't know. I enjoy doing it. The people that watch it like it. You don't have to watch it. And then I realized he's just lurking over you. It's glaring in the background. I forgot I had this giant picture of him right here.
It is. There is a glare.
I forgot about that.
When you just said that, I thought you meant, why would we stop now?
Yeah, I was like, Carl, we're halfway through the series. We got to finish.
We're going to eventually get, a response from fucking Plankton Rules. So
yeah, we got all kinds of wacky stuff going back there on the Patreon. Richard Ojeda drinking game at 1,000 patrons. I'll perform Make America Innate Again at 2,000. So get those numbers up. And speaking of Tom Myers, if you want to go to Havre de Grace, Sean Bolins, me, Justin, Chef Lewis, Drew P. Balls, just to name the big stars.
Drew P. Balls.
Just to name the top muckety mucks. We're going to be at the Havre de Grace Opera House in Havre de Grace, Maryland, next Thursday, the 29th of June. So if you want to come hang with us, watch Dat Fan and Tom Myers, feel free to join the boys.
I love his name's Drew P. Balls. That makes me laugh every time.
Yes. What was I going to say? Oh, before we get to our other subjects, we got a lot to dive into today. I'm excited to talk about that Roseanne podcast. We got some good. Did you listen to those Ojeda clips?
So I purposely never listened to the middle. I listened to the beginning and the end to make sure I clip it right.
Yeah.
But one of them, I think the fourth clip starts hot.
Yeah. We got some good Ojeda today.
I laughed
Baldwin,
so hard.
D'Elia, Bryan Callen. We got a bunch. But first, I wanted to get to that clip that I told you to remind me of. Have that ready to go. I forgot to mention this to you guys. I wanted to tell you at the time. I was in the Bahamas with my family a couple months ago. Remember?
Yes.
And I've discussed before. I'm not particularly close with my family. I don't have like a bad relationship with any of them. I'm just not really very close with them. So there are certain things that like try to relate to me on, and they don't always hit the bullseye necessarily. Sometimes they have an idea of what I might like and they misjudge it. So there's a day, beautiful 80-degree day in the Bahamas. We're walking along the beach. I mean, the beach, the sand doesn't get hot. Beautiful beaches there. Clear blue sky day. It's me, my girlfriend, my mom walking along the beach. My mom just brings up a subject and she presents it as, "Oh, Mike, you'll love this story," and proceeds to tell me about this.
A grandmother enters court after two of her grandchildren lost their lives when she was supposed to be babysitting them. Her daughter, Kayla, the mother of the two dead children, breaks down sobbing uncontrollably. She has not seen or spoken to her mother in 5 months. She blames her mom for the death of 18-month-old Ezra, who drowned in a pond at her house. He got out while Tracy Nix was napping.
911, where is your emergency?
That's a little baby. The grandmother's out giving him CPR. Is he breathing? No.
The very worst.
Isn't that funny, Mike? Wouldn't you like to talk about that on your show?
Oh my God.
She presented it to me as like, you like dark humor, right? You make fun of dark subjects. Isn't that what you do? You have a good laugh at others' expenses.
Oh my God.
I was horrified.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just imagining her handing me like a Mein Kampf and just being like, who's a real dark comic?
Who's a hoot?
I mean, Mike, I know you like Anthony Jeselnik. This Adolf Hitler guy puts him to shame. He is, oh my God, the hilarity that comes out of this. You're not going to believe what he put the Jews through. I mean, holy shit.
Is there more to this?
That's the story. This grandmother killed her kids.
Oh my God.
She goes, "Oh, you're going to love this."
Oh my God. That's depressing. And after having kids, these stories are just not funny at all.
I go, what? I didn't think it was funny. What is with you people?
I can't believe you think this is funny.
I swear.
Oh,
I don't know what I'm presenting to them that made her think like, "Oh, Mike is gonna have a field day with this story."
you just like, how do I come across to you and the rest of the family?
That's exactly what I said. How do you discuss me when I'm not around?
Wow.
There's just, the fucking Sandy Hook shooting. She's like, "Mike's probably writing a wacky blog about this."
Naturally. Oh, did you miss it? This is her Titanic story.
Yeah, she sends me the submarine imploding. Just LOL. Hey, go easy on him.
You know where I had the best time of my life? Vegas.
Yeah, you would think when she got back after that I like roasted her for 20 minutes.
Did you find Dan Bilzerian a gun, Ma? Did you?
I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's very funny. That's funny.
She goes, "Oh, you would love this." Both kids died, Mike.
See, I understand that, the dark humor.
The parents are childless now. Don't you see the humor?
I understand dark humor and stuff. I'm still trying to find it. It's just
There
dark.
wasn't an angle other than like, I mean, I guess the grandma's got egg in her face now.
and maybe some pond water after CPR. Wow.
Oh, well, she did call me like very excited. Because I don't think she thought I thought like the submarine implosion was funny. But she called me and was like, Mike, get
tell you
this.
how it was.
Get this. They have 12 hours left. Imagine they must be so panicked down there.
we were trying to figure out, like, do you think they strangled the owner?
Oh, I bet they're petrified that they're never going to see their families again. Anyways, just that I'd leave you with that, fun stuff. What do you mean you thought I'd like it?
Interesting story.
It's also not even like, historically, I get along very well with it's not even like I have a bad relationship with my grandmother where I'm like, oh, another bitch, huh? Another cunt that doesn't know how to treat her grandchildren.
And this is why I don't talk to my mom, Mike.
So anyways, if you guys see fun stories like that, feel free to send them my way and, we'll give them a good ribbing on the show.
You should start sending stories like that to your mom and just jot down her reaction. Be like, Ma, how funny is this? Be like, wicked funny.
anytime there's a mass shooting or, kids are dead, just forward it to the gear man.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I forgot about that story, and then yesterday Alba just came across that Instagram link and was like, I think this is the story your mom was talking about, and I had to relive it. I was like, oh God, I felt bad for these kids all over again.
Your mom tells you that while you're on the beach and stuff, and as she's telling you, you just look to your right and you see two kids flailing in the water.
Well, we brought her. Me and Alba got her tickets to see Chris DiStefano in Newport, Rhode Island.
She's a DiStefano person?
What's that?
She likes DiStefano?
She wasn't that familiar with him, but I was like, that's the type of comic she would like.
Just goofy.
And it turns out I was right. We got out, and she goes, yeah, he was very funny. I mean, he's no crib death, but he was good.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I forgot about that.
That is very funny.
Oh, all right. Now, let's get into some lighter subjects, huh? What do you say?
Yeah, who do you want to go with so I can set something up possible?
I say we go with Roseanne.
Okay, there's no...
Because Roseanne started a podcast. I had no idea about this. And I just happened to be scrolling through YouTube. YouTube decided, much like my mother, hey, this is probably something you'll like. Like,
yeah.
I was like, all right, closer.
Yeah, it's just as accurate as the For You tab on Twitter. Every time I'm going through it, it's just people getting shot or beaten up. And I'm like,
I was like, we're getting there. We're a little closer with this one because I found some interest in this.
Yeah.
So Roseanne started a podcast. Someone, obviously her son won't because he's in on this apparently, but someone should tell Roseanne, like, it's over. The glory days are over. To be fair, I'm unfairly judging her comedy special. I've only seen the trailer or commercial where they play her saying, my pronouns are kiss my ass. And it's like, okay. I suspect she doesn't still have it.
The fact that you're just willing to even say that out loud and unironically, is...
Yeah, it's like, okay, we get the joke. Yeah, pronoun, it's crazy. Non-binary, it's nuts. We're over it. even if you agree with Roseanne, it's like, yeah, no, I've heard it before.
We gotcha.
But she started a podcast. She said, hey, people haven't heard enough of these pearls of wisdom. And so she started a podcast with her son. Now, I told Carl about this last night. I wanted to leave some meat on the bone for him. I said, hey, if you ever get to it, there might be something here. because I just watched the intro. I'm not interested in the political talk or anything. Maybe we will be someday. This could be Ojeda's rival, maybe, Roseanne.
That's true.
We've got Ojeda on the left, Roseanne on the right, two crazy elderly people. Roseanne has apparently as much chemistry as me and my mother. They get each other equally, is the story I just told.
Roseanne and her son.
Yeah, it's a weird podcast premise because Roseanne seems out of it. And we did an episode of Why You Laughing about Roseanne. I mean, she was at a time definitely funny, whether she was your cup of tea or not. She was funny and she did a lot. Like, she was prolific at a time and she really ran that show and took it over and made it into a fucking giant. Like, people forget Roseanne doesn't get mentioned a lot as a classic sitcom, but that was massive in the 90s.
Humongous.
And then again, when it came back, it started out massive when Roseanne was on it. So, you know, she's definitely successful. I don't know if she's still all there. And I think these clips kind of display that.
Hi, everybody. This is Roseanne Barr, and you're welcome to my podcast. I finally got it together to do the same thing for more than a couple weeks in a row. Amazing focus. But yeah, my focus is I really want to walk you through what's coming because a lot of people just don't seem to be putting those two brain wires together. And I have put it together. We're either being invaded by aliens or killed by giants coming up from Antarctica, where Hitler took a whole bunch of people during World War II.
Okay, so it seems like she's coherent at least, but
the fuck was that?
I have no. Maybe she was kidding about the Hitler thing. I don't know. I know she's a conspiracy theorist, so it's not far-fetched that she would believe that. But the other weird part I thought was that she's like, well, we finally did it and put something together for more than a couple weeks. This is the first episode.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Did she try another podcast? She must have.
Maybe, but on the first episode, you can't plant the flag and be like, well, we finally made it.
Maybe she's like, obviously you all know I've tried this before.
No, but you're missing my point.
I might
It's an odd celebration to say we've finally done something for more than a few weeks in a row on the first episode.
That's a great point.
Thank you. All
okay,
right.
Now I get what you're saying. Super chat from Box Eating Dad. It says, I'm Craig and my mother-in-law is worse than Trump.
Is that right?
No. He's
say that?
No, he's trying to plant the seeds that I hate my mother-in-law.
Why do you hate her so much?
I don't. She's very sweet.
Oh, okay.
She's a nice lady. She took me in when I needed shelter.
Is it more that she kind of resents you?
Probably, yeah.
Defiling her daughter?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that makes a lot more. I mean, I think we can all get on board with that.
Yeah, just being like, hey, we've been together 7 months. She's pregnant. That was a fun conversation.
Yeah, my son-in-law is a racist pedophile. Why would I like that? I get it.
Pedophile.
Yeah.
My wife's of age.
Boxing Dad, is that true? Check the records on that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, super chat your thoughts on this. This next one is her son, who looks terrible.
So this is my guy, by the way. This is the first podcast, or at least one of the first podcasts I ever went on as a guest. I think the first one. Back in my heyday of really railing against cancel culture, I took up a cause of the Redskins name change. Mm-hmm. It's funny to look back at like how passionate I was about this. I was like, well, they didn't mean it like that. Yeah, right. But Jake Pentland had me on to talk about this subject, and I had to debate a Native American woman. And I was like 21, 22 at the time, and I was kind of like, I don't want to shit on this lady. I don't know. Whatever your beliefs are, they're correct, I guess. But anyways, so Jake Pentland is her son, and I think he's trying to, take advantage of whatever brain cells Roseanne has left and hop onto this wagon.
Maybe trying to exploit her name a little.
I suppose.
Well, here I am with my oldest son, I think he's 40. I can't remember, 43, I think he is.
Atta girl.
One.
44, but that's the closest you've ever gotten.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed.
Wow.
You're usually off by
1976. I remember that.
1978. That's more like you.
Ah! Oh, I was there, but I blocked it out.
Yeah, that's kind of your go-to.
Boy, you was a 9-pound, 14-ouncer.
Yeah.
Boy, these two are really close. You know what they should do together is a podcast. They really seem to know each other very well. They're going to, when she zags, he's going to zig.
That's true. And then she'll say something that rhymes with that.
Well, maybe.
Next one is I do enjoy your titles of videos. It's just, have these two met?
If you thought that was so she doesn't know her son's age, but I mean, what mother doesn't?
Right.
So this is a little more. Now I think you're going to see the real chemistry between these two.
I'm here to help my mother. We're going to have conversations when there's no guest. And if there is a guest, I might pull up news, but this is obviously the Roseanne Barr podcast, and I'm just happy to be a part of it any way I can, because not only am I your son, but I'm also a huge fan. So
I know you're my fan. That is so cool that you're my fan.
Yeah.
Your brother says he's not my fan. He goes, "You're not funny at all, Mom."
Yeah.
You know how he always says that? He goes, "Were you funny? What? You mean you were funny?"
Yeah.
Oh boy.
She's like, this is why I think she might have like a touch of dementia or something. I know she had brain damage when she was very young, but this is why she can't be all there, because she's talking about her other kid like they're babies. You know how cute it is when your brother, who's probably 38 years old based on your age, is like, "Mom, you're not funny."
How old are Roseanne's kids? I'm sure
They can't be young, Craig.
The youngest one, so anywhere from 28 to 48.
That's they asked her. She's like, "I don't fucking know."
Well, 28's he's obviously 5.
Well, my point is they're not 6 years old. Mommy, you're not funny.
You're
It's
not.
like, no, these are adults. Like, I don't enjoy your work.
This next one is just titled, "She Should Be in a Home."
I think we're starting to get that picture painted. Because Roseanne, as I remember, she wanted to run for president. She used to be much more with it than this. This seems she's in a fog of some kind. Like someone should stop her from doing this.
Which is funny because she looks significantly better than she used to back then.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she actually looks healthy.
Yeah.
When she starts talking.
She's been like lobotomized or something. She doesn't seem there.
Yeah, she's got whatever the opposite of Trump derangement syndrome is, when you go way too hard for him.
No, but she's always been like that, though. She's always been a conspiracy. I mean, you heard the fucking Hitler thing, whatever that was.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, what's your go-to punchline? Oh, Hitler something.
We'll have comedians. Sometimes it'll be political. Sometimes it'll be heavy. Sometimes it'll be wacky. Stick with us every week.
Wacky. Theo Vaughn called me Wacky Onassis. I did his show.
That's pretty
It's
funny.
showing today, I think, or yesterday.
Yeah, it aired yesterday.
And I love he called me Wacky Onassis. Isn't that great?
I will update the graphic for Wacky Onassis. And Theo is going to be coming on our show in the near future.
How much do I love him and his, as my father said, humor.
Yeah.
My dad used to say humor. He has a great sense of humor. It's like Trump's huge.
This is not a podcast. This is like when you go to visit Nana in the home.
Oh,
yes. Oh, yeah. No, I remember Trump said that. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, you like Theo Vaughn? That's very good, Roseanne. Yes.
Cameo Blind Mike Super Chat. She looks like Aunt Edna in Christmas Vacation.
No, I'm not your husband. I'm your grandson. Your husband passed away years ago.
Oh, God.
He said Wacky Onassis, and he said humor, remember? I remember, yes, Roseanne. Very good. No, Trump's not in office anymore. He's running again, though. I know you like him. Yes, we talked about that.
This is tough. This is tough.
She's sliding into dementia, and people are shoving microphones in her face.
I highly enjoy how the son's explaining how podcasts work. Sometimes we might talk about something serious, or we'll get some, wacky things. We might have a guest. Who knows?
Yeah. I believe me, I've been there when you don't really have a premise flushed out for a podcast, and you're like, "Hey, who knows?" That's the crazy thing about us.
You
We don't know where we're going.
You don't know what you're gonna get. This is the last one. It's just fun dynamic.
Oh, yeah, these two. If you think already, like these two should have never mind a podcast, a sitcom together. Imagine if this guy had to move in with his mom at this age.
Well, the thing is,
the humor they would share.
No kid or anyone really enjoys going to visit Nana when they're in home because it's boring.
Right.
So you know what? Let's just put it on. Let's record it so you don't have to leave your house.
The nursing home podcast would be fascinating.
It's one way. I bet they would all love it.
Eventually, we'll get some real racism. She's going to start throwing slurs out there.
For sure, but that's probably why.
I think the black one's stealing from me again.
That's probably why the son's there, so he knows what to edit out.
No, Grandma, you haven't had that watch in 30 years. The nurse didn't take it from you.
Into it, shall we?
Yeah, let's do. Let me get my sunglasses on.
Yeah, I think the lights are too bright. I'll adjust it for the next episode.
Would you? That'd be great, Jay.
I will. I'm sorry.
Since I told you for 15 years I have a fake eye.
Well,
that when I get too much light in it, I almost have a seizure. I've only told you that for 15 years.
I know, but these are SoftBank lights, so
There ain't nothing soft about. I feel my one eyeball blinking in and out and hooking up to Nassau.
Okay, I will adjust the lights, but for now, can you wear your sunglasses for a little while?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get
the first thing I always think when a mother and son have a contentious relationship, you should do a podcast together. You should really have these issues out on the air.
This chemistry needs to be recorded.
I've told you that 1,000 times, you stupid. This is probably why you don't have a wife at 43 years old. Have you ever thought about that? I actually would like to hear that now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to deep dive into this show.
Yeah. So there might be, like I said, I stopped it at the end of the intro. I said, I wanted to let Carl know you might have to do some digging here, but we may as well, because this may be the Republican answer to Richard Ojeda.
Oh,
and she'll go toe to toe with him. We've seen that video where she's screaming, "I thought the bitch was white." She'll go after Ojeda.
See, the thing is, I believe her. Just you cannot come across like that when trying to make your point.
The Valerie Jarrett thing?
Yeah.
It's the most believable video ever, but she just sounds insane.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's a tough balance, because if you guys don't know what we're talking about, after Roseanne got canceled, there's a video that I think this kid, this Jake Pentland, is the son that put out that video. In a way, he helped her. In a way, he didn't, obviously.
Right.
But there's a video where she's trying to record her apology video, and she just snaps in the middle of it and starts screaming, "I thought the bitch was white!"
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I definitely believe her now.
if he caught like a somber Roseanne being like, "I really thought she was a white lady," and post that's probably what he was going for. But he's like, he records that and goes, "Home run, we got
just
this."
as effective.
Perfect.
But yeah, we'll keep an eye on these two, because Malone, the chemistry. Oh man, they are off to the races now. I mean, hey, good for her. The first episode has like 250,000 views or something. So
that's pretty fucking huge.
We wouldn't mind those numbers, which is why you should go to blindmike.net, folks. Subscribe.
Tap the subscribe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're watching now, that's the thing. Most of you people aren't subscribed. So tap that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. If you're wondering why you can't make a super chat, it's probably because you're not subscribed.
Oh, there you go. Subscribe, people.
Yes. Where would you like to go next?
This is tough. Well, I feel like to pair with that.
Yep.
You got to go Richard Ojeda, right?
Have to.
Box of medication and a hammer-made scar. Coal mining vet, the less big the star. He's just a shit-talking, curb-stomping, Trump-hating, redneck
dick. So Richard Ojeda. Where do we start? Because I know where we end up. Put it that way. But I forget how Richard introduces us to this conversation, because he's going to tell us a little about his family. We get some of the background colored in on our pal Richard Ojeda.
Yeah,
but I forget where we start here.
The first one is it's just called, it's one of his sayings. It's just something to think about. And before anyone complains, he recorded this vertically for some reason, so it might look funny.
Oh, John is away, his producer.
This was the real show.
Yeah. His daughter was graduating or something. So Richard had to record it on his phone. And Richard mentions a few times, which makes you know he's definitely serious when he says, I don't mind that John has to be with his family. I said, brother, you got to do what you got to do. He keeps mentioning it, which definitely makes it more believable.
Correct. But something to think about here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right on in with the news topics of the day. And there's a couple things that I hope people understand. It's not illegal to ask your lawyers if you can break the law. It's completely fine to ask your lawyer if you can break the law. If you ask your lawyer if you can sell heroin, you haven't committed a crime because you haven't sold no heroin. You just asked your lawyer if you could sell heroin. Now, your lawyer is going to tell you that heroin is illegal and that selling it is a crime. Now, if you choose to sell heroin anyway after your lawyer told you that it was illegal, then you are now, in fact, breaking the law. So let's think about that.
It's just useless. I mean, he's like talking about Trump, I guess. So he's essentially going to say like that Trump. That was his argument. He goes like, this is why Biden, isn't guilty of stealing documents or whatever, and Trump is, basically was his argument. But I just love that he has to break things down. Like, I mean, heroin, you can, it's on you when you sell heroin. You can ask your lawyer about it all day. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? Why are you mentioning this?
Personally, my favorite part of that video was him almost throwing up in the middle of a sentence. Let me tell you.
I think it's because he was about to say something nice about Mike Pence.
He just can't bring himself to do it.
Yeah.
Next, we have powerful stuff.
This is more. I love when Richard gets into like a real like, hey, listen to me.
Philosophical.
Listen to me now. He kind of delivers like movie trailer lines.
Right.
Where it's like, wow, that's really something I got to chew on.
Those that think everyone should be free to own any firearm that they want, just know that a man dreamed about an intruder in his home. When he woke up, he got his gun and accidentally shot himself. You can't make this stuff up, folks. Folks, let me tell you something.
Sure you could.
It sounds
it sounds really made up.
It sounds like something like the government would make up to get everyone to bring their guns back.
Well, I don't want to get into that. But that's what I love about Richard's show is where he'll just read a meme and he talks very kind of like Alec Baldwin. He talks very powerfully into the camera and says, I mean, what if I were to tell you? It's a 30 for 30 on this guy shooting himself. What if I were to tell you that a man woke up in the middle of the night and shot himself? Whoa, very spooky.
Your lawyer can't help you.
Now, what you can do is ask your lawyer if it's legal to shoot yourself. That you're allowed to do.
For some reason, curb stomping is perfectly fine. Next we have just might be a drop or two.
Oh, I forget. Okay. I remember clipping this, but I can't remember what he says.
The next one is the one we're trying to get to.
Yeah, this is just built. These are things I like to pick an episode and just clip as much as I can of it. But yeah, there are a couple good drops here. I just can't remember. I'm as excited as you people.
But hear you like this. Tomorrow, we're having Jews for dinner.
Okay, that's right. I forgot. Okay, that's right.
Let me start that one over there.
Yeah, someone's been watching the financial videos that I've suggested.
But hear you like this. Tomorrow, we're having Jews for dinner.
I mean, we have a lot of Ojeda in the outro. You know what? No. Never mind. That'll get us in. I don't want to be that kind of show, I don't think. That we end with a man saying that.
Let's keep going.
Let me hear it one more time.
hear you like this. Tomorrow we're having Jews for dinner. Folks, let me tell you something. Jewish people is acceptable, but to sit and say the Jews, that's actually not right. That's not the way it goes. He said, tomorrow we're having Jews for dinner. Is that kosher?
It's like that. It's like the Always Sunny. You can say Jews, but it's all about inflection.
I like that. That's what Richard's doing now. He's like, now listen here. I don't think Richard could say Jews in any capacity with that accent.
That accent just makes it.
I mean, believe me, you can say Jews. You can say Jews. You can have Jews in your home if you want. You can break bread with them. Okay, I never thought you couldn't.
I didn't realize that was illegal. Did you talk to your lawyer?
You can, when you're talking to your accountant, you can say Jews. Your doctor, your lawyer, any type of person like that, you can absolutely say Jews. Because that's who you're hiring usually.
Now, this next one, I got to give the heads up to everyone watching here. It's a short clip and it starts heavy.
Okay, this is where we're getting into. So, just know, Richard is of Hispanic descent.
Is he?
Were you aware of that?
Oh, I actually makes sense with the last name.
Ojeda or Ojeda, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Richard comes from, I believe, a Mexican background, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So he is allowed to say these things that we're about to hear him say. Just keep that in mind.
It's like when Logic says the N-word.
Right. Yeah. It's really more like if Louis C.K. or Tom Segura were to say a Hispanic slur. It would jar you at first. And then you're like, oh, no, they're allowed. All right. I forgot.
Now, the wetbacks is a derogatory.
Okay, again, the accent tricks you. He is Hispanic. Let's all remember that.
He's allegedly Hispanic. Looks like he does in West Virginia.
Yeah, Richard screams West Virginia, and so does his voice. But he is a man of Hispanic descent.
Now, the wetbacks is a derogatory term. I'm going to tell you a story because my grandfather was an original wetback.
I mean, before it was cool. He was one of the OGs. He earned his stripes when it really meant something. He was an original. I'll do the version that I'm allowed to do because obviously I can't say the words that Richard's saying. Mm-hmm. But it's like if I were to go on and just be like, I mean, my grandfather, he was a Dago's Dago. I mean, this guy, he sweat olive oil and came marinara sauce. This guy was such a guinea.
He was King Wop. It's like I guess it's like when I say Italian stuff because I am Italian, but I got the red hair.
But it's just funny to kind of like brag. I mean, like this guy was a guinea when it meant something. You understand me?
He's a guinea's guinea.
He's a greaseball's greaseball.
It's the best part of The Godfather. I always bring it up. This is the last one here from Ojeda, the legend of Pop Ojeda.
Okay. So what makes Pop Ojeda an original, W? Well, he's going to tell us, and I mean, this is a triumph of the human spirit. I've never heard a story like this. Like 50 Cent got shot 9 times. Is that right?
Yes.
This makes him look like a pussy.
But the term came from when they were fighting with Pancho Villa. My grandfather was 13 years of age when Pancho Villa come through where they were living in a place called Techeluta del Montenegro. And my grandfather left with them. When he was 13 years, he left. Never saw his mother alive again. He left and went with Pancho Villa. He was shot 3 times. He was shot in the head. He was shot in the ass. And he took a bullet right in the scrotum and still had 9 kids.
This guy, my grandfather, he doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the world down. You understand me?
This is starting to make more and more sense that his dad is Forrest Gump.
My grandfather fought Pancho Villa, and his father went up against Genghis Khan. Now that was a ruthless son of a bitch. But
Dave Sarr,
old WB Ojeda took care of him.
Super chat from Dave Sarra, $5. Thank you, sir. Yes, the OGWB Grandpop Ojeda.
I mean, my pappy took so many bullets, and still, I mean, this man was a coming machine. He would jizz in a woman so many times that sometimes he'd impregnate her twice. That's how much this man was coming. You understand?
Each rope he shot had lead poisoning.
I mean, the endurance you have to get shot in the scrotum and then still tell a woman to open wide because she's getting a nice gift shot down her throat.
It just shows
I mean, that really takes some endurance.
It shows how horny guys are that his scrotum will have been shot open and he's like, I can still do it.
I still want to fuck.
The gift that keeps on giving, that guy. You know what's funny? He recorded that himself on his phone, and it sounds exactly the same as the other show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah, the passive aggressive shots he threw at John, his producer, unnecessary. He could just do that every night.
It just didn't look as good, but technically,
you're missing the fun drops. You don't get the Hunter's laptop segment drop and things like that.
Hunter's last call.
Yeah, laptop.
Oh yeah, on his laptop.
That was all we had for Ojeda.
Yeah. We got some super chats here. Dave Sarr again, another $5. My grandfather died in every single Mexican war. Right. Box eating dad, $2. I'm reading a super chat here. The only WB thing about him is having 9 kids.
Well, I don't know.
I didn't say it.
And then what you have to understand, it's a lot like my cousin Gustavo Fring says when he's going up against the Mexican cartel. Now, they may try and poison you, but what you do is stick your finger down your throat when you're in the bathroom. You throw it up, and then you have a young meth head kid shoot up the cartel.
I want to just hang out with him for a day. Like,
I think he could be a fun time. The problem is we couldn't. You certainly couldn't reveal your true politics.
I could not. But
you know, because that would send him into a rage.
But the thing is, he's a fake lefty.
Yeah, he voted for Trump.
He voted for Trump. I'm sure he loves shooting guns. He was in the fucking military.
Yeah, he does like getting high. He's a big weed guy. That's his big thing. Is in West Virginia. He was a state senator, so I don't know how much influence he even had. But he's like, I got weed legalized in West Virginia. That's one of his big brags.
We got people trying to reach out to him to get on. By the way,
I suspect he won't do it, but pull up the tweet. I quote tweeted one of his tweets from yesterday, where it's amazing. He says he just has no problem saying the word fucktard and everything, and yet he still goes after Trump for that stuff.
You quote tweeted it?
I did, yeah.
Let's see.
You might have to go back, but
I wonder if he blocked me, by the way, because people kept.
He hasn't blocked me. I don't think he's a blocker. You got to give him that. You got to give him credit there. I don't know that he's a blocker.
That's true. I just haven't seen anything from him in a while. Okay, it's Ojeda put one of Trump's Truth Socials and quote tweeted it with, "This fucktard won't stop until more people are killed. Anyone else would have."
And by fucktard, by the way, I mean retard. It's a word I would want Trump crucified if he said it, but I don't mind saying it. It's kind of a fun turn of phrase, if you ask
me. Anyone else would have a gag order. Anyone else would have already been incarcerated. Our biggest threat is from stupidity. I will dance in the streets when this jackaloon can no longer place us in jeopardy.
I wonder which song he would choose. I'd like to join him in that dance.
Ooh. Whatever that Vietnam
a house theme. Next door to me.
I think the Vietnam theme song.
Oh, interesting. Maybe.
Whatever that, I forget what that is, but the one that's always associated with Nam.
Maybe. All right, that's moving on now to a gentleman named Bryan Callen. We haven't talked about Schaub and Callan in a while.
It has been a while. I mean, we've
Because,
been Schaub.
yeah, Brendan's a good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's improved in his comedy a lot. And there's nothing in this clip that will get me to turn on that promise of being a Brendan Schaub fan. You're not going to find anything that makes me cringe or makes me wonder why I've decided to become a fan of his. I assure you, there's nothing that if I don't criticize it, I'll be a total hypocrite. I defy you to find something like that. We're here to make fun of Bryan Callen.
That's right.
Because apparently Bryan Callen's a little sad. Is that right?
Yeah. Who'd have thunk that, being accused of rape several times would affect ticket sales?
Well, I got accused of rape and I don't sell as many tickets now.
I still make a living telling dick jokes, but my friends do something better.
Well, so people on Reddit have been really obsessed with the Fighter and the Kid numbers and the numbers for the Golden Hour. So the King and the Sting is now known as the Golden Hour. Theo Von left. But the King and the Sting and Fighter and the Kid used to do hundreds of thousands, if not close to 1 million views an episode. Those were massive podcasts. And there was a time where you could argue the Fighter and the Kid was like one of the 10 biggest podcasts in the world.
1,000%. But the problem I find is their association with one Mr. Crystalia.
That's been a problem. I would say the way they reacted to the D'Elia thing was rough.
I understand trying to stick up for your friends, but there's certain things that you just have to be like, I don't know what's true.
They wept and said it's like he died.
Right.
And then had him on the podcast as soon as they could.
Right.
So that was very weird. But yeah, they've been through the ringer. Their numbers are down. And then I guess this is Bryan Callen. And Bryan Callen has also hitched his wagon to Steven Crowder, which I don't know if that's a great career move or not.
No,
but Crowder has a big audience.
He's getting the light. Don't talk.
He's getting the light. So when he's with Brendan, he knows he can talk a little more than when he's with Steven.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. I wish if anyone knows an easy way to find good Crowder clips, let me know. Because I think he's a mockable guy, but I don't want to sit through, an hour and a half a day of Steven Crowder. I just can't do it. Half an hour a day of Ojeda is enough.
I'm just waiting for him to give DePaulo the don't talk sign.
DePaulo bites his fucking finger off.
DePaulo's like, you push that fucking button again, I'm coming over that desk.
Go ahead, push the button. I fucking dare you.
You gonna push that button, that stupid fucking shirt?
So yeah, Bryan Callen's ticket sales are down, and he seems a little bummed about it.
It's gonna hurt your feelings.
My wife put it in perspective for me. I was complaining about,
not having big black dick.
I was just complaining about.
Oh, Brendan, that's a good one, buddy. Nice way to ease the tension, my friend. That's very good. Well, you know what? Very astute comedy mind there. Brendan Schaub said, "My buddy's obviously down. I'm going to lift him up."
I was going to say
black dick joke. I never heard anybody.
He knew this podcast was about to get real somber, and he's like, "No, let's keep the mood up."
Yeah, you know what cures everything? Black dick.
Complaining about,
not having big black dick.
I was just complaining about. I wasn't complaining, but I was a little bit.
Means he was bitching uncontrollably about this next thing.
Constant whining to his wife, who absolutely wants to hear Bryan be like, "Oh, my numbers are down. Oh, I'm very sad about this."
She'd just be like, just be happy your divorces aren't going up, buddy.
Well, did he say wife or girlfriend?
Wife.
Okay, so your wife, that's who you should be talking about this stuff to. So I'm not even really going to make fun of him for that, as much as I just did a second ago. But
no, he can't bitch about that stuff while the whole reason he's in the shit is for cheating on her.
Well, that's not true. Callan?
Oh no, actually, that was from years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was years ago.
That's
I don't.
right.
Maybe he also cheated on her. I have no idea. I think this is a new wife, actually. Anyways, we sound like fucking idiots here. Let's move past it. My point is, with Bryan Callen, like, have that conversation with your wife. You don't bring it on the podcast.
No.
The podcast audience doesn't want to hear my there were a few empty seats when I was in Tennessee this weekend. Oh,
On some level, I kind of respect the behind the curtain thing, but on the
sure,
other,
but like List and Norman talk about that stuff, but it's not like I want to kill myself. I've got a case of the SADS.
Yeah.
Oh,
Norman's like, yeah, I didn't sell any tickets because I'm gay.
Comedy, Jews.
You know,
Not having big black dick.
I was just complaining about. I wasn't complaining, but I was a little bit bummed out about not selling theaters or some.
I wasn't complaining. It was more like aggressively sobbing and pounding my fists against the table.
How the fuck does Theo Vaughn sell out theaters?
It was more like cursing Joe Rogan for not having me in his stable anymore. It was really more me saying like I'm as cool as Mark Norman and Shane Gillis.
What a mistake. Didn't Rogan offer to buy all of these people houses in Texas?
So the story as I've heard it, I don't know how true this is that some stuff popped up with these guys around that time, both of them, not just Callan, and there was a reason they couldn't move to Austin, family-wise. So that ended up kind of fading away. And then I think being in Austin, Rogan's so the thing now is like Schaub hasn't played the mothership.
He hasn't been there since, hasn't he?
Which is weird, no? Don't you think it's odd he hasn't been invited down there yet?
Yeah, but I'm sure, he's been on the show several times since he moved. Hasn't he?
Yeah, but since he opened this massive comedy club, a guy that he got into comedy, he hasn't booked on a show.
Well, yeah, he didn't, he wants quality shows. People pay a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you book Brendan Schaub. What aren't you getting about this?
Anyways.
Selling lots of tickets. And I was like, but I'd sold out that night. And
you can go down that route.
And when she goes
once
like this,
every 2 weeks.
She said to me, she goes,
once every
Bryan,
2 what?
No, that's good. That's good. Yes, Brendan is saying once every 2 weeks, you should have a mopey rant to your wife about what a failure you are. I think that's about the right number.
If Dave Smith can get spots there, it's crazy Schaub hasn't. Dave Smith is one of the biggest people in comedy right now because of politics.
But the chatter's point is Schaub is a great comic and friends with, right, Chatter? That's what your point is. He's a great comedian. He should have been there.
I do like how he's like, yeah, every 1 to 2 weeks you can just have a hissy fit in your kitchen.
2 weeks is about the right number that you should have a mental breakdown in front of your wife. I think that's the right recipe for her respect. Is every 2 weeks you just break down uncontrollably and scream the name Joe Rogan in anger at the heavens.
It's like fucking Kevin Spacey in House of Cards, where he's just an emotional mess, so she has to like fuck the man back into him. That's Schaub in his mudroom every week.
That's when then Callan just looks at the audience and said, "That's when I knew I had to get to the mothership."
He's been there. I think.
What are you looking at?
I'm pretty sure Callan's been there.
I believe he has, yeah. Which again adds to my conspiracy theory.
And when she goes like
Once
this,
every 2 weeks.
she said to me, she goes, "Hey, Bryan, somebody took a picture with you tonight, and when they walked away, they went like that. They pumped their fist."
There's a guy, but yeah.
I don't know about that. Maybe Callan's crowd. She's stereotyping a little, but
Schaub just made a gay joke out of that.
Well, we got to go back because I want to hear it. I want to hear the greatness come out of his mouth.
It was big black dick level.
But I don't remember, I thought it was cool the first time I met, Jim Norton, say. I wasn't like, fuck yeah.
Here's the argument. Here's the argument you need to go with right here from Japanese fart enthusiast. The comedy mothership, Schaub only performs in stadiums.
There we go. That's a good point. Maybe Schaub looks at it and says, this tiny room, what's the point? Why would I waste my time?
This is more like the mother shuttle bus. Get out of here.
Schaub works his material out in theaters.
Right.
That's where he has a tiny little audience at big at 2,000 seat venues.
They pump their fist.
There's a guy, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, be a little, she goes.
And wait, Brendan, hey, no homo, right, buddy?
Was your wife all right with that?
Who wants dudes celebrating, right, B? Nailed it again, buddy.
Let's see here.
Be a little. She goes, "That's tough. Be thankful for that, and that's a big deal." And I never do that, and I never.
That's
do it.
that's almost impossible.
I have a huge problem with it.
That's almost impossible to do. It's like if you're a Navy SEAL and you're in the middle of war, and like, dude, we're some badasses. No. You're like, what?
Yes.
No, that's what we do, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, Brendan. It's exactly like that. I agree with him. It's really exactly Bryan Callen being accused of rape and his ticket sales going down. It's a lot like the Navy SEALs, I think, in many ways.
I don't like this being called In Shape, Very Good Show very much. It's not very nice.
That's a great tagline for you guys, honestly.
I'm down 32 pounds, guys. Come on.
But so I think if we're going to talk about this realistically, I know it's fun to make fun of Brendan and everything, but I thought before he even said that, it's weird. Maybe this is just a connection Brendan and I have. When Callan was moping that his ticket sales are down and going, "Oh, I bitched to my wife about how I'm not as successful as I used to be," I was like, that's kind of like Robert O'Neill and the boys going in and taking out Bin Laden. That's probably the same attitude that they had.
Yep, same thing, same brotherly bond and everything.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. So I think Brendan's. Let's hear him out here because I think he's on a good path.
Yeah. You know, because the opener is like the breacher, the one that's first in the room. You know what I mean? It's a squad.
I think joke makers who can't sell tickets, I think it's exactly the same as the Navy SEAls.
Dude. Yeah. Oh, the bullets flying. Who gives a fuck? That's we're used to this. So
away, Brendan.
Extreme example.
Take some lead, baby. You're out there on the front lines, my man, in the trenches.
Yeah, it might have been an extreme example.
Hold on. Go back.
Yeah,
But you laugh at him all you want, Craig.
I'm
That's
not.
him understanding, like, hey, listen, I get it. Maybe people will call this extreme, but it really is. He's like, as Tom Myers once said, it's like a firefighter running into a burning building, this profession. I get it.
If you're a Navy SEAL,
You know, when we looked at Steve Martin and he has an arrow through his head, I was thinking, boy, that guy must be in combat when that photo was taken.
That's what I thought. Oh, I lost my mouse.
Dude, we're some badasses. No. And they're like, what? No, this is what we do, dude. Yeah. Oh, the bullets flying. Who gives a fuck? That's we're used to this. So it's an extreme example with the Navy SEAls, but it's just
I need to be more great,
but an example nonetheless.
An extreme example, but a great one and an accurate one. It's like the first time I saw Ralphie May, I thought, is that a Navy SEAL there?
Definitely SEAL Team 2, but still a SEAL.
Is that one of this country's greatest heroes? Oh, it's Ralphie May making fun of the Native Americans. Oh, I'm sorry.
And I need to be more thankful for where I'm at. I mean, and I try to practice.
You should be in theaters though. You talking in comic. You're a monster. You're the one that taught me stand up, and I'm super grateful.
Oh, no.
That's a badge of honor. Hey, Brian, good for you.
Great if Brian was like, fuck, and like broke the table that he's sitting next to.
Now, why would he do that? That's a great badge of honor to have, is teaching Brendan Schaub stand.
Because he was so emotional with the compliment he just got.
You know what I think a great way to cure Brian's case of the blues is?
AIDS?
Is let him know, hey. Huh?
His case of that, I said AIDS. But
okay, all right.
I was doing a Schaub joke.
I'm going to start that over. You know, a great way to cure Brian's case of the blues is, you know, you clearly, you see he's sad and you tell him, hey, Brian, things may not be going great anymore, but you are responsible for Gringo Poppy. Hey, there you go, buddy. Think about that. Have you thought of it that way, Brian? Have you looked at it like that? I doubt it. Or you wouldn't be so down.
Hey, Brian, where you going? Come back.
No, Brian, put the rope down. No, Brian.
He shoots up the studio. And runs out with Schaub's joke book.
That's what a great friend, though, that Brendan Schaub is, to be like, hey, buddy, you may suck now, but why don't you share in my success? You know what I mean? Like, come over here. This is because of you. All that Brendan does which is apparently remove a podcast and then not post one all week. That's because of Bryan Callen.
You know what, Brian? You know what you could do? You could go to the city that your kid's named after and have a half full room because these people are here as a joke. That could be you, buddy.
Yes, half full, emphasis on full.
Yep. I look at half glass full, dude.
Yes. So is that the whole clip?
No.
Okay, good. Because Brian's still down. Jesus Christ. There's no cheering this guy up.
No, not at all.
I gotta tell you, I've been depressed plenty in my life. I've been very down. And I've done shows about I've literally on the Patreon early on, we would do a show specifically to talk about depression. And I wasn't this fucking little like stink. I do. I don't have the success that Bryan Callen does. Keep this off the podcast, you fucking idiot.
I like how Schaub's like, online when you see that, a soldier's walking and then bullets start flying in this chaos.
You know what? I really liked the video that they made of Bryan Callen's reaction when Callan came home from the road one weekend. It was kind of a beautiful moment where they were like, "Mike, Dad, is that you?"
I didn't know that was the thing.
He came home from battle, and they were happy to see him. They didn't know if he made it.
He had a fucking duffel bag over one shoulder.
Oh, the dog went crazy. It was fun.
Yeah, and he can't watch war footage, Shaw, because he's like, this reminds me that my mother-in-law making empanadas that I do on stage once in a while.
Oh, that weekend in Toledo. You're just staring off into the distance, drinking an old fashioned.
he's having non-flashbacks. It's jokes that just get murmurs.
I remember when I said I went to Boston Dynamics.
You think that'll be in the special, his next one? I hope so.
No, that you don't know Brendan like I do. That was him being playful with the crowd. He's like, "Hey, you guys know Boston Dynamics," and we were all like, "Yep, go there all the time."
Yes, we do know. And no, none of us have been there because it's one of the most secure places in the state.
You know how you're walking around Boston Dynamics? I wish you did it like a Def Jam comic. Y'all know how it'd be around Boston Dynamics.
Yeah, you know that place where they're making armies of robots?
Shit.
Taught me stand up, and I'm super grateful for that. Out of everyone, no one gives you the credit you deserve. We've been over this.
Yeah,
like you're the reason I can afford private school for my kids.
Brendan is put in the position of lifting this man's spirits. Like, hey, don't kill yourself.
You got my kids in private school, dude. I'm gonna be ashamed of that. Oh my god.
Hey, your life might be in shambles, but mine's going pretty okay.
I need somebody. There's a picture next to Bryan Callen. The person looks exactly like Dave Cullinane.
It's him, man. Cullinane, before KMS, Cullinane produced The Fighter and the Kid.
It looks exactly like him. Someone find out who that is. It's very funny.
That would fit. Dave would be good on that show.
He would be great.
He'd be like the insightful. They would like that. Oh, you weren't in Portland, but one of the sketches was like Ryan Whitney complimenting Cullinane. They've mentioned it on the show. It would honestly be like that, where Schaub and Callan would be like, I mean, this kid, we call him the whiz kid. How do you know all this stuff, Dave? Dave's just Googling it.
I heard about that one.
Yeah.
That's very funny, that picture. But anyways, there's still more here. We got 25 seconds left.
End up, that's all Bryan Callen. No. You're the one that pushed me. You should be a theater act, and
I mean, you're not, but I'm just saying you should be.
You should be, but you're not.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't sell out clubs right now, but what I'm saying is, like, you're good enough to be. Think about that.
You're not even a 5 shows a weekend at a club guy.
Yeah, I mean, you want to kill yourself, obviously, but like, think of all the things you should be. That's something to live for.
You want to kill yourself, and I understand.
People for it that you're not. I'll figure it out. I'm not there yet. You should be there. It bothers me you're not.
And away, Brendan. Way to pick up your buddy. I mean, I'll get there. I'm going to be fine. But you on the other, we got to figure out something so you don't hang yourself.
That would be terrible.
Yeah. Me, I'm going to be totally fine. Don't worry about me. But you, geez, we should come up with something.
Yeah, I like the idea of like Russia attacking the United States and all the comics just jump on the ground, holding their heads like, no, not again.
Rory Scovel takes a bullet in the chest. Rick Glassman, you can never tell if he's actually dying. You don't know if he's doing a bit or not.
Todd Glass is just making fun of the enemy.
Todd Better's just like, I guess you shot me. Sarcasm.
Bill Burr's like, where the fuck do these people think they are? Why do you come into my stuff?
Yeah. What a wrecking crew of Navy SEALs you got at the mothership.
People who the sun hates and like they don't even go outside.
But the name, I threw out the name Rick Glassman just because it was on my mind. How aware of him are you?
I've heard the name.
He's very funny.
Is he?
Check out his podcast. He's doing shit with his podcast. It reminded me of like, I think Hack Ride would be a good fit with his show, kind of. Like it reminded me of that where it's like almost kind of it's weird but funny. Like he does a good job.
Oh, now it sounds like Mike and Hack Ride have a little issue over here.
It
would be a better place for Hack Ride to end up. That's what I'm hearing right now.
How do you figure?
I'm just fucking around it.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, it happens.
There's no breaking up the brothers.
No.
No breaking up a partnership like me and Hack Ride.
The three blind mice.
Well, now Hack Ride says it's more like two, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm just packing my bags now. Sorry. Do you want to go?
But good friend, Brendan Schaub. Good job. I think after that, Brian was all right.
Home and he's like, "You're not gonna believe what Brendan said to me."
Has it been 2 weeks already?
Yeah.
He said I was responsible for his comedy, and then he said he was more successful than me, and then he said I should be playing theaters, but I'm not.
I can't get Will Sasso to call me back anymore.
I never should have defended Chris D'Elia because now people lump us together, and I don't think it's fair.
What do you mean when his allegations came out and I said he's my best friend?
I don't even think this is Joe's number anymore.
Thank God you took the bullets out of my gun.
Yeah, that he got from his Navy SEAL training.
Yeah. Sir, can you wield this? Well, I am a comic. Thank God.
Are there any comics on board?
So they said on 9/11, but comics don't fly that early, so they were out of luck.
There's been an intruder. Quick, get Theo Vaughn.
Does anyone have any airplane material?
If only Bobby Lee were here to stop this.
Anytime there's riots, they send Nick DiPaolo and his crew.
I don't need home security. I'm friends with Brad Williams.
Ron White's my mentor. I got this.
All right. Well, we've mentioned his name a few times. Should we get to Chris D'Elia?
Yes, we should.
He's a maniac who probably has no soul. He's assaulting like a Weinstein on parole. He's a maniac, joke thief and a hack, who would start a sex cult when you look like that.
Wow, man.
How menacing his laugh is.
I keep forgetting about that.
Well, first of all, you have this screenshot from Reddit.
Yeah, let me pull that.
It's just funny. So someone was, I guess, our boy Shane Gillis is in Baltimore coming up. And hey, so are we. I forgot about that.
That's right.
Well, maybe me and Justin will see him on the way. I don't know when he's down there, but not long after Shane Gillis, Chris D'Elia will be there. And this person on Reddit noticed only one comedian in the Baltimore area needs to preface his dates with this rule.
Yep. So we have Nikki Glazer, nice. Shane Gillis, nice. Tickets available for both. Chris D'Elia, 18+ event.
Now, it's funny because I think people took that as like he needs to put a disclaimer on his shows that you have to be 18 or older. I took it as, guys, you don't need to be 21. Don't sweat it, guys. If you're worried you have to be 21 years old, don't even think twice.
See, I'm taking that completely different from you.
Yeah.
I know. I'm picturing his manager going, how are we going to curb this problem we've been having? Oh, you have to be of legal age to get in.
Yeah, you don't let 16-year-olds in the building. That'll stop him, right?
Here we go.
He's just a truffle pig out there searching the playgrounds. I'll find him.
He's got the, like he's like a wild boar when it comes to underage girls.
You think an age limit's going to stop me? Are you fucking nuts?
Dave Sara super chat. D'Elia, or as I call him, Patty C cups with G rape.
Interesting. Patrick Michael and Chris D'Elia. Who's funnier? That's tough. I'll tell you this. I think Carl might disagree with me. I think Patrick Michael might make more sense than Chris D'Elia. Like when D'Elia gets into these long rants that we've played of him, it's inane. Whereas Patrick Michael might make bad jokes, but at least it's coherent, might be strong. But you can make sense of it.
The weird thing is, Chris D'Elia used to not be like he is.
I know. We all know you loved his early stuff. Craig says it was a great comic, but
no, I
never got it.
There was one special I didn't think was the worst thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah. Chris called it. I mean, I keep calling you Chris for some reason.
I get it.
Craig compared it to Live at the Sunset Strip.
Yeah, it was the same thing.
He said he was like, it's kind of the new age Live at the Sunset Strip, you know?
Yeah. I was like, oh man, these girls are so hot.
I was like, I don't know. But yeah, so he has these age restrictions at his shows now. He's the only one. Like Shane Gillis, I imagine you have to be 18 to go see, if not 21 in some places, I would think. But I guess you lead a certain lifestyle, and you're the only one who has to announce it.
Dave Sauer again, his fourth super chat of the show.
Hey, we may only have one guy in the chat, but he's persistent. Thank you, buddy.
I say that because Patty is slowly doing D'Elia-isms.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, he's a fan of these guys, right? Patrick Michael?
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
He's a target of Carl's and WATP. But he's a guy, the only reason he's a show like they discovered that gets like 6 listeners.
Gotcha.
Like I have no idea how they even found it. But now he has listeners because of Carl and them. But every time he starts to gain some momentum, he starts blocking everyone. Like if they're like, people will subscribe to his Patreon, and if he gets wind that they're there kind of to mock him, he'll ban them.
I didn't know you could even do that on Patreon.
Guys, come on, mock me all you want. Well, be a little careful, but
he's a target of KKK Carl.
Yes. Yeah.
I just like that it wasn't associated with me for the first time.
You and Carl run in the same circles, I think. Anyways, Chris D'Elia, this is a couple weeks ago, I think, on his TikTok.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it till just the other day. And apparently he's been recognized. Guys, the scandal hasn't quelled his fame. He's just as famous as ever, and this video is proof of it.
It's not me.
You're Chris D'Elia.
No, it's not me. Him. It's not him.
My friends were just at your your show?
You know how you know this is an organic moment? Is because everyone is already filming when a stranger approaches you.
I think it's organic that he's walking by the club he just performed at, and he's like, "It's not me."
but why would he be filming unless they were already like, "Hey, you're Chris D'Elia." What's truly sad is envisioning this man go, "Hey, you mind doing that again so I can? Hey, you want to be in my TikTok?"
Okay, so defend him real quick. It does appear that they were filming. He was filming something else, and she walked into it.
All right. I had more fun living the other way, but that's fine. All right, I'll believe that.
We have to, if we're gonna take shots at him, we have to make sure they're legitimate.
That's fair. That's fair. So let's see how he handles this. He's recognized. Let's see the kind of magic that this comedic genius comes up with.
The awkward. It's not him or me. Didn't already give you a little.
Well, that's just comedy gold. I mean, then you. Wait, it is you. You just said it's you. I get it. That's fine.
You're clearly not Chris D'Elia because you have a British accent.
And it's spot on, by the way.
Show?
You ready?
They're gonna fucking shit their fucking pants.
Awesome.
I've never been in a situation where I thought I might be raped, but I could imagine shitting my pants also. That makes sense.
I'm gonna send them a picture of us, and they're gonna ask me if I'm okay.
Put it this way: I don't think I would lose control of my bowels if I was about to be raped by Chris D'Elia. But I'm not going to blame anyone who is. People have different tolerances for different levels of fear.
You know what, Mike? You don't know till you're in that situation.
That's exactly right. So yeah, I'm not going to blame anyone for shitting their pants out of fear of being raped by Chris D'Elia.
You're gonna shit my pants, or as Chris likes to call it, shitting on his balls. Same thing.
Tomorrow?
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow. Hear me out. Lunch, Juniper on 8th Street.
Juniper, remember this.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
And order the oven bread.
Chris has learned a lesson about fraternizing with his fans.
He's a very weird guy, and now he's getting here's the best thing on the menu.
Hey, a fan that wants to have a social relationship with me? What could go wrong?
This lady has no idea what she's walking into.
Oh, you'd like to have an interaction with me outside of a fan entertainer relationship? When has that ever gone bad for me in the past?
I'm expecting.
I can't think of any documentaries based around that.
I'm expecting D'Elia to just show her his ankle bracelet and be like, because of this, I cannot legally have dinner with you.
I'm not allowed more than 6 feet from this theater, which is why I'm standing out here.
Order the oven bread.
Oven bread?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It will literally make you come in your pants.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Chris would prefer to come somewhere else if you wouldn't mind.
Do you have a younger sister by any chance?
Are there any middle schools in the area you could direct him to? Because coming is what he's interested in doing. You brought up the correct subject.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's that good.
Well, better wear underwear. I'll wear a diaper. Thank you.
Chris, how have you not realized you shouldn't be having these interactions with your fans?
This is probably a trap, Chris.
Stay away. Yeah, this is one of these people that thinks they're pedophile hunting. Don't you realize? This is a Chris Hansen wannabe.
You're done,
Chris,
man.
run!
We got the chat logs. Oh man, imagine it'd be so funny because I think Chris lives in LA, right?
Yes.
He's just walking down Rodeo Drive or whatever, and he sees Chris Hansen across the street just because that's where all famous people live.
Yeah.
He just starts running naturally.
Now, it says here you told this young lady you thought the food was so good it made you cum in your pants. Is that correct? Yes, technically that's correct, but I'm doing a silly voice. Does that make me innocent?
I don't know what that means. That was the end of the video.
So it's good. Chris is up to his old hijinks. He has learned not a single lesson yet again. When the documentary came out, he shit all over his wife after that. Now a Rolling Stone article says the FBI might be looking into him, and still he feels what's the harm in interacting with the fans? What could go wrong? They all seem to love me.
Nothing,
and they'll never change.
That's right. That's right.
No matter what I do to them, they'll never have a bad story about me.
What a fucking weird existence. At least, I mean, us as observers know that lady was not his type.
That's fair. That's fair. But still, it's just in general to have. I would just be like, maybe I'd have a fun interaction with them. Maybe, hey, how's it going? I am Crystalia. Oh, you're a fan? Thanks so much. But you don't need to display it for the world when you've lived the type of life that Chris has for the last few years.
I do enjoy in that video he was on a scooter, and I like how he's using that as like a. Do you find this cool? If
He's
you
got
have-
a little propeller hat on.
Yeah,
I'm just a little boy.
If you think this is cool, let's fucking talk.
Any other babes that want to hop on this scooter? Hey, how do you like the whip, ladies? Yeah, pretty fresh set of wheels outside.
Pretty neat, I'd say.
You know what? Might ditch the scoot and blade for a few hours if you guys want to join me.
If you're interested in the same stuff I am,
What else do we have?
we have a commercial or Mr. Baldwin.
Let's end with the commercial. We always like to end with Hack Ride.
It's an appropriately timed video, at least. This time.
It is. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's do the commercial first, and we'll close with Baldwin. Let's play. Hack Ride's got a commercial to promote the merchandise we have in the store, which I never do. So I'm glad Hack Ride would do something like this.
Mhm.
I should note to everyone, we do offer more than one item in the store. It's interesting what he chose to focus on. But he and Nick Fuentes were hard at work, and they came up with a pretty good commercial for us. So go to blindmike.net if you'd like. And this is some of the stuff that we offer there.
Do you need a sturdy, better than average coffee mug? Hi, I am Nick Fuentes, and when I'm thirsty, I reach for my Blind Mike exclusive mug featuring Hack Ride. Created with the highest quality materials, these mugs are basically indestructible. Whether you are at home or in the office, these mugs really stand out.
Look at that sexy mug. Do you want to go to lunch with us?
Ew, gross. No thanks, golden girls. Go to blindmike.net and choose the option for the merch store. There you will find this amazing Hack Ride themed mug. Even if you are on the go, these mugs provide a great travel mug to keep your coffee warm or ice cream cold. Hey there, beautiful. Did you lose one of your toys?
I'm Shauna Ray, and I fuck hard.
What was that? I think that was an alien. Order your mug today and support the Blind Mike Project. Blind Mike made such a good product that sometimes I find that I can put things other than coffee in them, like whipped cream or candy, lots and lots of candy.
Can I ask where you got that mug?
Ah, I can smell your blood from here, Granny. You bleeder, get away. Get away. Order your mug today and support the Blind Mike Project. I love my Hack Ride themed Blind Mike mug, and I guarantee that you will too. Oh, there's the dinner bell. Hey, girls, look at all the candy I have here in this great mug. Order your mug today while supplies last.
Stay tuned to the Blind Mike Network after today's show for Craig's new show, Craig's Sausage Junction. I know the Army Major will watch. I love wieners.
The fuck was that?
I don't know. You know what hurts a little? I made sausages last night.
Oh, getting ready for Sausage Junction.
Yeah, I had to make a ton for sausage.
CSJ. Well, thank you. Yes, go to the store, be like Nick Fuentes, and check out the store. Again, we do have shirts and hoodies and all kinds of stuff in there, or get a Hack Ride mug, I guess.
I will say, on the video you saw other stuff, but he didn't mention anything else.
Okay, and one other note, just as a human being, loved the Shauna Ray cameo. Let's tread lightly on that.
She's of age.
I understand. I'm just saying, maybe having an AI child.
She's not a child.
It's going to be hard to argue, is what I'm saying.
Thank God she has a TV show, at least.
Yes. Yeah. No, very excellent work, Hack Ride. Definitely an upgrade from last week, I would say.
Yeah, and get that mug while you still can, because we get 4 a year or something. I think that's how Mug Club works. So that will be limited time.
See, but this is what I told Hackride last week after the 3 Schaub video, whatever the fuck that was. I said, the Bob Levy thing is what made me think of it, because like he had a commercial for Bob Levy's pools, and I was like, let's not create new show references with your videos, build on show references. So that's obviously, we had Steven Crowder's Mug Club. We have Nick Fuentes' Mug Club. I think that's good.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
In a couple weeks we'll have a new one. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but we'll figure that out when we come to it. So get your mug while you can.
And I should have mentioned this earlier in the show. Next week we won't be live because I'll be driving home from Havre de Grace. So on Wednesday, we're going to do a mailbag show. Answer your questions, whatever questions you have. If you're on the Patreon, those get first crack at questions. And I'll also put it out on Twitter and stuff if you'd rather just send them there. But any subject, particularly, I'll say this on the Patreon post, but particularly those that, boost our algorithm, maybe. If you need me to have some hot takes on, Matt Rife, feel free to shoehorn those in if you want.
Kind of like Twitter shoehorns Matt Rife Blue Chew commercials on my timeline.
Oh, does he do those?
Oh my God. Every time I go on my fucking phone.
Oh, good for him. Is he sexy in them?
No, I've never actually listened because I just don't want to hear his voice.
Oh, that's too bad.
But he is overtaking the world. My wife, who's not like a big comedy person, the other day just goes, "Have you seen this guy?"
I said this last night. So I talked about him with Royce and Carl, and I've become like the Matt Rife correspondent.
Yeah.
And I said, by some metrics, he's the biggest comedian in the world.
By some metrics.
You know what I mean? Like, if you talk about certain ticket sales and prices and his following on social media, he's massive right now.
Yeah, like my wife's not the biggest stand-up fan, so I was in like a real spot being like, do I just pretend I like this guy so she shows further interest in comedy, or do I just
interesting,
or do I tell her? I told her the truth. I go, I hate him. I find him very annoying.
See, I think you should have sucked it up and gone to a show, though.
I might still. But he's probably,
it'll set you back $1,600, but
is he fucking expensive?
Oh, they were $800 a ticket.
Oh, you weren't joking?
No.
Oh my God!
And it sold out. And Callan told me this last month. So this is May. He was sold out in April of next year in Boston.
Oh my God! Where is he? Is the Wilbur?
I don't know.
Jesus.
Yeah. Honestly, I would assume the Garden at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, how many? I wonder how many views his special has.
Oh, millions. It was 8 million or something like that. 10 million.
He's no Shane Gillis yet.
He probably got there quicker though.
That's true. That's the one with the intro we didn't. Matthew Stephen Rife.
Let's see who gets offended.
Well, let's see who gets offended.
Buckle up, gang.
His first special a year ago. Man, he put 2 out in the last 9 months.
That's how prolific he is. I gotta say, it doesn't take a long time to write. So this is your wife? That's your mother?
That's true. Let me guess. Gay.
I don't know how long those take to write, but
so his first special is at 7.7 million in the first year. This last one from 2 months ago is at 11 million already.
I mean, hey, good for him. Like,
yeah,
that's the thing is people will say like, "Oh, you're jealous." Not at all. Kudos, Matt. Congratulations. Make that money while you can, baby. I just don't get comedically. I don't get it.
See, Box Eating Dad's apparently going through the exact same thing I am when they're like, "No, he is funny." You're like, all right.
I got lucky that Alba likes enough comedy. Like her favorite comics are like Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah, so she's gonna hate you. Thank God.
But she has friends text her and be like, "Hey," so they know I like comedy, and they're like, "Hey, does Mike like Matt Rife?" And she's like, "Oh, I'll tell him." She doesn't have the heart.
yeah. He's probably all about him.
Oh, he probably knows all about. Yes, I'll have him check him out.
Yeah, but dude, it was just like a heart deflating moment. She's like, "Have you seen this?" And I was like, "Ooh, stand up. Let me look." Oh, damn it. I don't think there's anything to it. That's all.
All
He's
right.
good at what
So
he does, I guess, but
this will be. I don't think I'll have as much fun with this as you guys will. Our guy Lieutenant Kirk reached out to me and said you got to look at this Alec Baldwin video. And at first I didn't get it because of the old peepers. And then when he told me what was going on, I was fascinated by it. So this is a post. Now we're really going downhill fast with Alec Baldwin.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Alex got a gun.
Don't worry, it's not loaded.
Alex got a gun.
These are just dummy bullets.
The whole world ducks and runs.
It's just a prop, I swear.
Alex got a gun.
Whoopsie daisy.
Okay, we've forgotten to play that the last few times.
Yes, we have.
So we've seen Alec devolve over the last few months, where he came on and he was basically reading obituaries for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Then recently he was, laid up on the couch, and so he just started having mindless chit chat. And now he has resorted to theater of the mind. I guess we have to interpret what Alec is thinking in these moments.
I'm so confused, but ready.
Let's play it.
The volume is pumped, by the way. It's pinned. There it is.
It's like Jeter walking through the streets of New York in black and white.
What the frig is he doing?
Okay, so can you read the caption?
There's no caption yet.
What do you mean? There's no caption for the Instagram video?
Oh, hold on, let me find it. I rip it so I'm not actually on Instagram.
Oh, Craig, you fool.
Okay. Well, give me 1 second.
We'll keep playing the video while you look for it.
All right.
What has my life become? Here I sit at the mountaintop. Have I done it all? Well, I have a beautiful wife who doesn't realize what race she is. I have children that I hate. I think I've accomplished everything I'm here to do.
Would you like me, Alec? Would you like me to read this?
Please.
Let me pause this real quick. Or should I keep playing while I read it?
Play the music. I think it's a good setting to have in the background.
So I'm guessing this is just 2 more minutes of him not talking, flexing.
He doesn't speak.
He just keeps flexing and tussling his own hair. That's all he's doing.
Jeez.
Sometimes
You wouldn't believe the stress I'm under after being cleared of all charges.
Sometimes my faith is the one thing that's helped sustain me during the toughest times. And gratitude for all that God has given me. Most of all, my wife, Ilaria, our 7 children, and Ireland in her new home, and her new family.
That's gotta feel my 7 children, and of course the afterthought.
All of whom have all of my heart. God has been good to me, and I hope that in the coming years, my family and I will have the chance to give back some of what God has provided for us.
And I stood tall and did it my way.
All right, this is fucking weird, man.
This is something that would be posted posthumously. Describe to the folks, the audio listeners, what he's doing right now.
He's currently sitting, looking away from the camera with his arm up, just to, I'll do it myself for the people watching. Just flex and look off to the distance, like you got something going on.
Such a crazy world out there, isn't it?
It'd be great at the end of this video. He just pulls a gun.
Have you ever wondered if our dreams are real and this is a dream? Have you ever considered that?
He's also closing his eyes like he's about to cry.
Sometimes I wonder what we're doing spinning around on this big blue marble.
How did we miss this one?
What do you mean? It was posted after our last episode.
Oh, I thought someone said go back in time and found this.
No. He reached out to me and was like, "You got to watch this," but I didn't catch it because it's so visual.
Oh, that is friggin' weird. I thought he like did this right after he killed the lady.
What is he? Oh, I wish. No, it's even weirder that he's doing it now. If he did it after he killed the woman, at least he would be like, "Boy, I'm really reflecting on things." But this is just like on a random Tuesday, I've decided to think about what it's like to reflect on it all. Remember 30 Rock, Beetlejuice, Pearl Harbor, Along Came Polly. Just listing his movies now.
The Departed. That is.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He's going through something, man.
That is, and he's always like secluded in the house while there's a bunch of people going.
Yeah, I wonder what happens in that. It has to be his Instagram time. I bet he set a rule where it's like during Instagram time, you don't get to speak to me. Do you understand?
When I'm on iPad, you're on the back deck.
There's daddy time and there's iPad time. Understood? When I have iPad, no one speaks to me.
I enjoyed that so much when he said that.
I watch on iPad.
Watch on iPad. Like it's Netflix.
The catalog that iPad has accrued.
There's a new season of Angry Birds on iPad.
I like to play. It's an oldie but a goodie. I like to play the game Snood. It's available on iPad.
It reminds me of a game I used to play on Nokia. Snake.
Alex going through something. I worry about the guy because that is some weird shit to post. At least when he posts the videos, he's saying something. It might be mindless bullshit, but words are coming out of his mouth. This is a visual performance. You know, as Kramer said, 80% of communication is nonverbal. So I guess that's what he's displaying here. But it's just fucking weird, man.
He just kept putting his arms up like, I am so fit for my age.
I think what he's telling what I'm trying to say is that you can have all the strength in the world, but that doesn't stop you from looking out the window and seeing some of the darkness that lies ahead. Anyways, follow my wife, please. Let's get her up to 1 million.
We're searching for 1.5 now.
We're on the road to 2 million followers. And if we get there, I'm going to play the Richard Ojeda drinking game with my buddies Blind Mike and Craig. We're gonna down some brews as that crazy old bastard rips the conservatives.
That'd be great if he has a new video that comes out and he's like, well, I thought I was done with this, but apparently 1 million was not good enough.
Now I need you to subscribe to her Patreon and make sure you smash the like button on YouTube if you wouldn't mind. And it'd be really swell if we got her a plaque. You know, if we get her to 100,000 subs, she can be sort of the Andrew Schultz of Hispanic culture.
That's exactly it.
Hispandrew Schultz, if you will.
She's just appropriating her own culture. Like he is.
At least that's how Andrew Schultz talks.
Right. At least he always has, as far as we know.
Right. Hell yeah. Alec Baldwin, I worry about him. Let's keep an eye on him. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Lieutenant Kirk, for alerting me to these any non-verbal Instagram shit from Alec Baldwin. Let me know. Describe it to me, and I'll make sure we play it on the show.
Send it in Braille.
You know what? Since we played all the others, can we hear the Tom Myers intro real quick? As we close up shop here on a Friday?
Yeah, 1 second. I already X'd out. There we go. Here we go.
Already X'd out.
Yeah, because we talked about it and yeah, whatever. Here it is.
awkwardness. I'm going to see Tom Myers. Bye-bye smiles.
Very catchy.
Bye-bye happy times. Hello, no punchlines. I'm going to see Tom Myers. The comedy of Tom Myers.
That's the best one, definitely.
Oh, 1,000%. The song is really good, actually.
So we're going to see Tom Myers June 29th, folks. Whenever you're listening to this, make sure you set your calendars for June 29th. If you're in the Havre de Grace area, or like some people, don't find that to be an absurd drive, then we've sold out the back row.
It's about all the tickets that are gone from the charts that have been sent.
Yeah, people have messaged me and been like, hey, I'm buying tickets. Only the back row is sold. Is that you? Yeah, that's us.
Yeah. This is going to be awkward, too, because they're going to try to get you to move up.
They're going to get us to move. I've already got the excuse built in.
I'm blind. I need a quick exit.
No, that would actually work to my detriment. They try and get me up front. But I'm going to say that we don't want to be victims of Tom Myers' brutal, vicious crowd work.
You know,
I don't want him to skewer me.
It'd be so funny because he'd get outwitted by everyone in the front row if they moved everyone up.
Oh, him versus Justin would be a sight to see. Maybe we should move up to the front row.
Chef Lewis even would say something stupid to him. Because he'd be like, I got this one.
Yeah, so me and Justin are going to be driving down to Havre de Grace next week. By this time tomorrow, we will be back in Massachusetts, hopefully. Or on our way back, anyways. By this time next week, I mean.
Oh, I was like,
this time tomorrow.
I go, does everyone else know that we were lying to them about the date of the show?
No. By this time next week. Yeah, so June 29th, if you want to join us. Again, when I do these meetups, we benefit nothing from it. So don't feel like you're supporting the show to buy a ticket. We get nothing out of it. So if you just want to join us, have a good time, feel free to come on down to Havre de Grace.
Yeah, I really wish I could go. But there was no explaining that one to the wife.
I just like thinking back about when Justin was like, yeah, we should go. It'd be funny if we went, blah, blah. And like kind of trying to convince me. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And he's like, I'm going to level with you. I'm probably going anyways. So like he tried to portray it as like, hey, if you want to, I'll drive you.
Dude. That's very funny.
All right. Anything else?
I got nothing.
Attaboy. I guess that's it. We will be, check out blindmike.net for goodness sake. I saw Mike Harris pop up on Twitter.
Yeah, he's drinking again, I think.
Oh, good.
I don't know what that was.
I didn't understand. Yeah, someone just invoked his name, and all of a sudden I see him going at them.
Yeah, I saw that and I went, I don't even get this, so I don't know. I'm just not going to say anything.
All right. Well, how's VGS?
It was when we were talking about that BJ girl. I was making Mike Harris jokes.
Yes,
that's what it was, and someone tagged him, and he just responded 4 days later. That's all it was.
Yeah, it's good to get angry about a show you haven't listened to.
That's just what I would say. Going blind.
How's VGS holding up without him?
Good. We took this week off because Tim and Matt both had stuff going on, and I was like, well, we haven't actually had a week off, so we'll be back Monday with I don't even know what, but we'll have fun. There's a lot of stuff.
Hey, how's that for promotion, folks? Hey, run, don't walk to that Patreon.
Well, normally I'm like,
haven't done a show and don't know when we will again.
No, we're gonna be Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Patreon. But normally, like right here, I'm like, this is what we talked about this week, but we didn't. So I'm just like, if you haven't seen Tim get his ass waxed yet, get it. Oh, and we've been playing Quiplash. Very fun. Thank you.
How about this? If you watch the firing of Anthony Cumia episode, and you think not only do I want that kind of stuff on the air, I'd like people to go a little more extreme in their thoughts on race.
Yeah, exactly.
Check out Very Good Show.
Yeah, come on by, have some fun.
If you think, Anthony's really going easy on the blacks.
It's really cheap Patreon. So if you hate it, you don't even notice the money you lost. Just come by.
That's the spirit.
Yeah. Patreon.com/very good show. Really easy.
It's funny because we used to like scrape and claw to get to an hour, and now we've done 2 hours, and I'm like, what else can we talk about? But
I know. We've been on a roll. Nice roll.
yeah, appreciate like I said, the YouTube has grown.
Oh no, I know what we can talk about.
What's that?
There are some BJ fucking stands in the comment section. Did you
Hell
see
yeah.
it? I could not believe what I was seeing.
Yeah, we didn't give both sides of the argument, apparently. Well, that's the thing. I can believe it because I was warned if you're going to talk about her, she might there might be some people that come after you.
Oh, I did not know that she had that.
Yeah.
People.
That's why I liked doing that.
Mhm.
And it seemed like people enjoyed it or were interested in it. But then I did kind of realize after the episode, I was like, I don't have any interest. I've talked about this before where like Kirk was always very good at that, like kind of choosing an enemy, exposing their hypocrisy, all that shit, and going after them. I'm not good at that, particularly when like if the heat turned on me and like her fans started coming after me, I'd be like, okay, I'm sorry, Uncle, Jesus.
Don't worry.
Leave me alone.
Don't worry, I got your back, Mikey.
But I was kind of just like, we don't need it. So like, we'll make fun of BJ, but I don't know if I love like the deep dive aspect of it, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was an important story. Plus, she's literally trying to kill Bam Margera. So
she is trying to kill Bam Margera, and invoked litigation, and then ran away from it pretty quickly. But
I will fuck you up in court. I guess I'm being sued.
I told you I never want. It's hilarious. There's nothing better than a compilation video of someone being a hypocrite.
Oh, it's the best.
When you cut from, I dare you to sue me. I welcome it. I want it to happen to. I never invited any of this. You guys know I never wanted it.
Yeah, and just so everyone that, all these BJ stands, they're like, oh, you're not taking sides. Basically, what I hate about this person was her going, your mom is a fucking bitch for trying to help you.
Right.
Like, she's the worst.
Yeah, right. Like talking him out of, there's a guy, on the edge basically, and she's talking him out of receiving help.
Right.
That's a great, like, hey, if you want to use the guy for views or whatever, I don't like that either. But worse has been done in broadcasting, So go for it, I suppose. But actively trying to tell him to not seek help is the crazy part.
Insane. The chat wants another VGS Blind Mike Project crossover episode. It's been too long.
Well, the problem is Mike's gone.
Yeah, he's the fun part to bash.
Mike was kind of the glue.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Tim's ever spoken on an episode that I've done with him.
Well, to be fair, the last one we did was his first episode with us.
Well, I don't think that's true.
No?
I remember very specifically when his first episode was.
Isn't that the Tim Tom?
I remember
episode?
it all too well.
Oh, the Tim Tom debacle. Right?
Yes. A certain drop was played roughly 9,000 times. We get it. It's an Asian accent. It's silly.
It was it was like the first week of that drop, and it's a very funny drop.
Sure. Yes. Diminishing returns, I think, but
I haven't used it in like 2 months.
Oh, but people, what are you even paying for?
Oh, really?
There we go.
There it is.
That's fun. See, it is funny.
It is funny
when Trey and Matt do it, but
Oh, really?
I never heard that version.
I got that one late.
All right, everybody. Yeah, go subscribe to Craig or check out Craig's show for free at least and see if you like it. Go subscribe.
Yeah.
And go to blindmike.net. Do the same. All our free links are there and the Patreon if you want. Don't feel pressure.
Sorry for all this, promotion.
Yeah. And follow Hack Ride.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a Hack Ride on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think.
All right. We'll see you later.
And we have a meme transition.
Sappers clear the way. Airborne all the way.
If I tell you you've got